a month because we went to closing and then we delayed the movers because I was away and other stuff was happening. So things were happening in stages and things were going fairly well. And if you've ever moved a house, then you know yeah. Process is a nice way to put it this morning. So I was moving with it fairly well and, doing my thing and doing it pretty slowly. And I had already had in my mind where stuff was going to go. So that part wasn't hard. And, when the movers came and all the boxes came in and I knew which room they were going in. It didn't matter to me if they got it in the wrong room. We fixed it later on. So I was kind of grooving with things until this past week when insomnia kicked into my life. And I started losing some sleep, and about 3 days in a row, I just wasn't sleeping much. So by Wednesday or Thursday, I was all over the place. I was kind of crazy. And Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was so tired, I was just kind of bumping off of walls and getting stuff done and not thinking and just going through whatever paces I thought I had to go through. And I was trying to do 2 or 3 things at the same time. And it didn't really occur to me that there was a problem until Wednesday. I looked back and I said, okay, 3 days in a row now, I have broken something, glass. One of them, so this kitchen is configured much differently than my other one, and I'm still trying to get used to it, but when you're got a whole lot of insomnia happening, and you got a whole lot of other stuff going, and you're not thinking. So I was putting stuff in a cabinet, and I had some plates in my hand, and the dishwasher door was open, and I forgot it was open, so I tumbled over the dishwasher door, and stuff is going up in the air, and it all happened like in slow motion, like you see them, and I'm going, no. No, don't do that. And then you just hear crash, and there's shards of glass going everywhere. And suddenly, because I'm so tired, and when you get so tired that you're just crazy. So the tears started going, and Quentin ran out of the other room. He's like, what happened? What happened? I'm sitting on the floor by the dishwasher, boo-hooing. Boo, oh my God, oh my God, what's happening? Everything's broken, and I don't, Whew. I was Miss Crazy. So it took 3 days in a row of stuff happening and stuff literally hitting the floor and breaking, including me. I was not worse for the wear, but it was fine. Thank God I work out because you tumble pretty good if you're physically strong. So I was able to just pop right back up after I shed some tears and, got a little pathetic for a while. So I went and had my pity party in the bedroom and laid down and boo-hooed for a little bit more. And then I remembered who and what I am. And all I said to myself was, slow down, Tiger. Why are you moving so fast? What's going on? Slow down. Slow down and get some sleep, get some rest. But the biggest thing was just to slow down. Slow down. Slow down. You're pushing too hard, pushing too fast. There's no schedule for this. There's no deadline for this. I could take the next 10 years to unpack if I wanted to. And so many of us do. How many of you moved in the last number of years and you still got boxes? Right? Yes. Yes. Yeah. So it took 3 days in a row of stuff just happening, stuff breaking, one of which is a bottle of cologne in the bathroom. So I was smelling that for 2 days. That was my reminder. You'd think that would make me stop and say slow down, but no, let's break some more stuff. Sometimes I can be a tad hard-headed. No comment, Quentin, about the tad hard-headed. Yeah, he did. I felt the stink eye coming this way. A tad hard-headed. But it's the stopping and slowing down and remembering who you are, that matters. That matters. And so that brings us to this next power of the 12 powers, which is order. 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 And a lot of people think the power of order is about God's timing. God's timing. And that when God decides to do this for you or that for you, then that'll happen. You just got to sit around and wait for God to do such and such. Spirit, God, the universe, whatever you call it, acts upon our opening and surrendering and saying, I'm ready, or yes. Doesn't do anything that we're not willing to do, because we have free will. So the universe was fully aware that I'm bumping around my house breaking stuff, waiting on me to slow down. So the power of order is about seeking the kingdom first, if you've heard that phrase. Seek first the kingdom, and all things shall be added unto you. And the things that shall be added is not breaking stuff, but it's peace, harmony, unity, love, compassion, abundance, whatever it is that's waiting at your door for you to say yes and to open up to. Seek first the kingdom. Order. So this is from Charles Fillmore's chapter of Spiritual Law and Order in his book, The 12 Powers. These are just excerpts, but so this is pretty long. This is like 14 pages, but I pulled out some things that were salient for me and probably salient for a lot of you. Cleanse first the inside of the cup and of the platter, that the outside thereof may become clean also. All these woes are to those who are living in the letter instead of the spirit of the law. His denunciations were aimed at those who profess to teach and to follow the law, but fall short in carrying it out in their lives. So some of us know what spiritual principle is, and we'd much rather talk about it than live it. It's the living of it that changes our lives, that makes things work, that brings us peace and order and harmony and unity. Man can never exercise dominion until he knows who and what he is, and knowing brings forth that knowledge into the external by exercising it in divine order, which is mind, idea, and manifestation. That's a spiritual law, that mind comes first, then idea, then expression. And so in these days, this month that I'm moving, yes, I'm meditating and doing what I needed to do. However, I probably needed to spend more time in prayer and meditation because I was busier, because there was so much more going on. So the rest of my life didn't stop. There was moving on top of it. There was making a home on top of it. And I forget who said it, and I'm paraphrasing the sentence, that if you don't have time to meditate, meditate for an hour. And I actually experimented with that because I thought, well, that's the hokiest thing I've ever heard. If I don't have time, where am I going to find an hour to meditate? But I'm always game when I hear these things and spiritual principle comes up, and it says this works, or I take it as a challenge. I'm going to see if that works. And so I did. I was in a very, very busy period, and I forget, everything's a busy period now. But it was extremely busy, and it was a number of years ago, way before here, because I was still at Unity of Dallas, so more than 7 years ago. And I started meditating for an hour in a very busy period. And I just made time. I get up first thing in the morning, set the timer on my phone for an hour, and I sat there till it was over. Even if I was uncomfortable, even if as we talk about, the monkey mind was all over the place, and most days I had a big silverback gorilla running around my head, and it was terrible. When those little tiny monkeys, it was a big the big ape in my head running around. But I made myself sit there for an hour. And lo and behold, I chilled out. Chilled out. My life didn't change. I changed. And all the stuff that was going on in my life suddenly didn't feel like stuff. None of it was a thing. Everything was just flowing off my back and off me like water off of a duck's back. It was uncanny. Uncanny. And so in this last month, through this moving process, I should have been meditating longer. So I could remind myself through all the stuff that was going on, who and what I am. And so that I could attack then my life, step forward into my life, knowing that, and hearing what I needed to hear in order to make my days go smoothly and to keep the dishes and the cologne that I broke. So seek first the kingdom. So as I'm in meditation and connecting with divine mind, then I have ideas start coming to me about how to live my life, how to navigate this craziness that I'm in the middle of, or that I think I'm in the middle of, because the craziness is my judgment about my life right now. And then Spirit tells me when I'm in meditation, this is how you do this. Do this first, do this second. Slow down. This is important, that's not. Watch out, the dishwasher door is open. Step around it. How about if you carry one plate, not 5? And I heard stuff like that during this week and ignored it. Oh no, I get so much more done if I carry 6 plates. So mind, idea, and manifestation. So then I can manifest some peace through what I was calling a crazy period. That's what the power of order does for us. Man cannot grow into the understanding of spirit nor be obedient to its leading if he is hampered by external rules of action. No man-made law is strong enough or true enough or exact enough to be a permanent guide for anyone. It is if in your path toward the light you have fixed a point of achievement, that attainment of which you think will satisfy you, you have made a limitation that you must eventually destroy. There is no stopping place for God. There's always more. There is no stopping place for man. You can never be what the Father wants you to be until you recognize that you stand alone. With Him as your sole and original guide, seek first the kingdom. Just as much alone as if you were the first and only man. You can hear His word when you have erased from your mind all tradition and authority of men, and His word will never sound clearly in your mind until you have done this. So seek first the kingdom. It is your privilege to be as free as the birds, the trees, the flowers. They toil not, neither do they spin, but are always obedient to the divine instinct, and their every day is a Sabbath. They stand in no fear of an angry God, though they build a nest, spread a leaf, or open a petal on the first day or the 7th day. All days are holy days to them. They live in the holy omnipresence, always doing the will of Him who sent them. It is our duty to do likewise. That which is instinct in them is conscious, loving obedience in us. When we have resolved to be attentive to the voice of the Father and to do His will at any cost, we are freed from the bondage of all man-made laws. Our bonds, in the form of some fear of transgressing the divine law, slip away into the sea of nothingness, and we sit on the shore and praise the loving all good that we are never more to be frightened by accusing conscience or by the possibility of misunderstanding His law. It all becomes easy. It all becomes easy. And then you see that it's all good. We have to go into the solitude of the within and lead our flock of thoughts to the back of the wilderness, where dwells the exalted one, the I am, whose kingdom is good judgment. There we are in training 40 years, or until we arrive at a foresighted or balanced state of mind. When this holy ground is approached by man, he must take off from his understanding all limited thoughts of the absolute. He must put his shoes off his feet and stand directly on holy ground. And all ground is holy when we recognize the all there is. It is in the recognition of the power and the presence of God that all our strength and all our ability lie. Jesus, the great spiritual master, said, "The Father abiding in me doeth his works." So the power of order is about seeking first the kingdom, seeking first God in us as us, before we do anything and everything. That's order. Realizing that divine mind is always there, guiding us, leading us, protecting us, speaking to us, and guiding us through whatever it is we're going through. And then you can hear what is being said. Do this, go here, say this. Don't say this. Participate in that. Sign this deal. Don't sign that deal. Give your phone number to that person. Don't give it to the other person. Looks good on paper. Don't do it. I believe we were always being spoken to by Spirit. Always. In every moment we're being spoken to. I always trusted that's my intuition. When I hear it, I know that Spirit leading me. I can't tell you how many times I heard my intuition speaking to me during the week, and I was just moving too fast to pay attention. Or I just decided, that's not expedient, I'm doing something else. That's how you end up on the floor next to the dishwasher with glass all over the place. Actually or metaphorically. And then you're guided, and then you don't have to worry. It'll all get done, or what's important gets done, and the rest just goes away. Because Spirit will tell you, first things first. Do this first. What's second? What's important? What's not? Lead you exactly where you need to go, and you can just relax. Spirit's the easy button. You want easy? You want flow? Seek first the kingdom. That's why we talk about, and that's why one of the tenets of Unity's principles is prayer and meditation. Because that's where you find everything. That's where your power comes from. That's where your dominion comes from. That's where the ease of life comes from, the power of order. So last week we talked about will, the power of will, the executive order, that knowing that you have the power to do what it is you want to do. And order works with that. Yes, you have the power to do what you want to do, and Spirit is right there. You have this other power to use with will so that you know what order to do it in and how to do it. Knowing that you have trillions and trillions times a trillion to the trillionth power number of ideas in order to execute. And you don't have to worry about that there's trillions, because all you have to do is grab one. Be present. Be mindful. Be in the moment. Do one thing and then the next. You know, as a control freak and a Virgo, probably the same thing. I don't know. I always wanted to know the whole path. I wanted to know, give me all 15 steps before I step into something. And then I had to let go of that because it was exhausting. The only thing I control is me and my mind, my consciousness. And so now I'm grateful that all I get is one step at a time. Because then I can do that, step here, do that, do it to the best of my ability, and then the next idea comes in, and Spirit says, okay, do this next. And I say, okay, thank you. I got one more step. Now I'm so glad I don't know what step number 15 is, because it probably scared the you-know-what out of me. But I know if I do 1 through 14, when 15 comes, I got what I need. And it's not a thing. It's nothing. It's just step number 15. I say, okay, doing this now. But if I knew it back here at step 1, I don't want to do that. So heck with 1 through 14, because I'm not doing 15. That's how our brains work. That's how our humanity comes in, and it starts limiting the absolute, like Charles Fillmore wrote about. And when we limit ourselves, we're actually limiting God, because we're saying no. No, I don't want the goodness you got for me. And so God says, okay, go ahead, fall over the dishwasher. I'll be right here when you're on the floor. God is on the floor next to the dishwasher too. God was with me in my pity party. 5 minutes later, God was with me when I decided, all right, I'm slowing down. Slowing down. And I also went to bed at 8 o'clock the next night so I could get some sleep. And I left everything else alone. I just went to bed. Didn't matter how much work there is to do. I got so many emails to open. I just have to walk away from my desk. But the priority was to get some rest, to slow down, to remember who and what I am so that I can progress. And it's probably a good thing I didn't answer any of those emails, because they wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't have been the right answers. So the power of order, seeking first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto you. If you're talking about prosperity, all those added things are your true prosperity. Peace, joy, love, harmony, unity, compassion for self, for others. Beauty. All the goodness of life. Those are the things that are added to us when we seek first the kingdom. And they just overflow into your life. You don't have to go look for them. When you seek first the kingdom, they're all right there. And you start looking out at the world and you'll say, oh my gosh, look how wonderful life is. Those moments, and I have them a lot when I say, oh my gosh, I'm the luckiest girl on the planet. Because man, I've got a great life. That's everything being added unto you. It'll come to you so fast and so hard and overflowing, so large. It'll amaze you if you seek first the kingdom and you keep things in order. Use that power of order and focus on Spirit, which is you, your true north, your true home. Let's take this in a meditation. So take a deep breath. So you're feeling like life is chaotic. It's time to harness the power of order. If your relationships feel crazy, it's time to harness the power of order. If the world feels crazy, it's time to harness the power of order. This is a meditation on the power of order by Reverend Bronte Colbert. I call upon divine order for balance in my daily journey. If I'm feeling overwhelmed with responsibilities or life feels out of balance, I turn away from outer appearances. I picture my life as a beautiful path, a journey of discovery and joy. One step at a time, I move forward into that which is mine to do. I see all aspects of my life in order against a backdrop of gratitude, spiritual purpose, and direction. If I'm wishing for something that has not yet appeared, I trust that my good easily comes to me in divine timing. I see my body working in divine order. It is healthy, whole, and full of energy and life. I take time to appreciate nature, its beauty, balance, and perfect timing. I delight in the symmetry of a seashell or the layers of art in a cloud. As I create a sense of order in my home, work, and activities, I discover balance and peace. As I affirm there is one presence and power in my life, all else falls into place. I claim divine order now. I claim divine order now in all things. All is good because all is God. I seek God first. I seek first the kingdom, and all good things are added unto me. I cannot stop its flow. The goodness is so good, and there's so much of it, I cannot open my arms wide enough to hold it all. Goodness rains down upon me. Peace and harmony rains down upon me. I and the Father are one, and therein lies my peace. Therein lies my peace. I seek first peace as the day begins. I seek peace first before each activity. All things that I do are grounded in peace, are grounded in God. For God is everywhere present. God is the all there is. So all there is peace, if I am willing to recognize it. Where's the chaos in your life? What have you judged as crazy or out of control or chaotic? What feels out of balance or out of sync? Look at it now in your heart of hearts and claim divine order in that aspect of your life right here and right now. And you may say it in your heart of hearts or out loud. I claim divine order now. I claim divine order now. I am order. If you not only have the power, you are that power as part of your divinity. We are the very things that we seek. I am divine order now. I am divine order now. And I give thanks for all the goodness that is added unto me right here and right now. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in order. Exhale, chaos, confusion. Inhale, order. Exhale, chaos and confusion. Knowing it is not yours, we have the power to renounce and release. We are creativity itself. We are creators. We have the power to create what we want in our lives. I am divine order now. I claim it in my life, in all aspects of my life. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen.